Hey guys, welcome back to another WrestleScream live stream, Zap and Slash here. And we have a few really good topics we're going to talk about today, including Jake and I went and saw Ready or Not 2. We've also watched Mikey, which I have seen before. I think this was Jake's first time checking it out. And we got a lot of news about the upcoming uh, NWA Crossfire event on April 10th, Never Back Down. And of course, we're going to run through everything about WrestleScream again, but let's get into the topic. What do you want to talk about first? Because this was a
So,
interesting viewing week.
yes, our special is, as you guys probably seen our post, it was a little last minute. It's ready or not. Here comes Mikey, or I think it's here Mikey comes or something. And you see a picture of Samara Weaving's bride matching off with Mikey with his bow and arrow, and Jessica Jones kind of in the middle in her comic accurate suit. That's because we watched Ready or Not 2, and we went over the first movie, and then we watched Mikey. It's kind of it's inspired off of a lot of movies with child killers, and a lot of other movies are inspired off of Mikey, as we have part of this special edition booklet. It comes with several things inside. Um, but yeah, and then Daredevil season 2 is coming out, and it's supposed to be having Kristen Ritter's Jessica Jones as a co-star and a bigger character, but we've yet to see that. So, but she's her character's having a lot of things come out in store, like the comics and Daredevil, very horror, dark superhero-esque. Of course, I got my little Jewel figure, even though she hates to be referred to as Jewel.
Horror is not what I would describe that show, but I would describe it more like
No, that franchise, Jessica Jones, Daredevil, like the Killer Muse in the comic books. He's every time you see him in the comics or on the show, or you've not even watched Jessica Jones. So there's a lot of slasher, blood, guts, and gore, people killing themselves or killing other people just because the Purple Man tells them.
mhm.
It, the Defenders is very dark. It's like The Crow. You've not seen any other shows other than Daredevil, so
Let's start with, I think a proper place to start here would be Ready or Not 2.
yes.
So let's check this out, and then we'll come right back, and we're going to talk about our viewing experience of Ready or Not 2.
She's a dark character.
So, Ready or Not 2, I don't really. My memory of the first film is not great. So I went into this kind of with fresh eyes, and I came out of this. I had a lot of fun with this movie.
Oh yeah, I mean it. It definitely felt like it was made by people behind Scream, Scream 5, and stuff. Because I mean, it was
Radio
very
silence, yeah.
yeah, it was very meta. Again, Sarah Michelle Gellar, as we did our one of our previous episodes, Rocky and Sarah. Um, she did great in that as well, in my opinion. Not to spoil anything. Oh, by the way, spoilers. Synopsis of Ready or Not 2. I forgot our main girl's name, but Samara Weaving.
Grace.
Yeah, Grace. She wakes up in a hospital after surviving a night, her wedding night of all nights, of a game that she later finds out is a satanic ritual She does state that she saw some kind of man in a chair before the end of the movie, and she wakes up in the hospital. She's being accused of the murders and the spontaneous combustion of her in-laws. And then her sister, Faith, Grace and Faith, played by Catherine. What's her name? Catherine. She was in.
Catherine Newton.
Yeah, she was in. She's also in Marvel, MCU character, actress. She's in Lisa Frankenstein, which was one of my favorites.
And then we round out the cast with Sarah Michelle Gellar as Ursula, Sean Hoddesy as Titus, Elijah Wood, David Cronenberg as Chester, David Cronenberg in a movie. That's crazy. Kevin Durand, Nestor Carbonelli, and then a whole host of others. Kevin Durand has had a little bit of a resurgence in horror lately with Ready or Not and then Clown in a Cornfield.
Yeah, see, that's that we're gonna have fun with this because first off, which by the way, we got the first Ready or Not playing in the background. Sarah Michelle Gellar, of course, obvious choice on why to be in this movie. She plays a vampire killer. Well, the guy from Clown in the Cornfield, which, by the way, we've worked with author Adam Caesar before in a panel. Um, he was a killer. Spoiler alert. Do not watch this episode if you don't want to be spoiled for Clown in the Cornfield, anything these actors are in, because we're going to tell you, I noticed a parallel right in the middle of the movie. Every single person in this movie has played some kind of iconic-ish killer. Elijah Wood in Maniac and Yellow Jackets, the dad from Clown in the Cornfield, Sarah Michelle Gellar. I think the only thing she's played a killer in is Buffy. Um, every single person in this movie has played a killer.
And you got David Cronenberg playing Sarah Michelle Gellar's father. And I was listening to an interview with Radio Silence, and like David Cronenberg, he rarely acts in movies. I mean, I saw him in Jason X and I think like Psycho 5 or something, but he rarely ever acts in movies. And the directors had found out that he was a Canadian native, which is where they filmed the movie, and just reached out to him. And he was like, "Yeah, I would love to do it." So you get this iconic director, David Cronenberg, doing like a really cool cameo in this film. I don't want to go into spoilers too much on this film. I want to talk a little bit more about what it was, what your experience was it compared to the first one, because you have a stronger connection to the first movie than I do, because I kind of forgot
Well,
really.
yeah, I've only watched the first one time. I think that's something we do have in common. Because I did say I would like to watch the first one again, but it's okay. I'm watching it as we go. Like to prove my theory even more, I really like Samara Weaving because she was in a pair of movies called like Babysitter Killer 1 and 2, which is funny. Main girl, girl next door, dude crushes on his babysitter. Turns out to be satanic ritual and killers in that as well. And I liked her in Scream 6 too. But I really liked her in this movie because this movie really reminded me of a movie called You're Next. I like family disaster movies where everything goes batshit crazy.
And I mean, Catherine Newton has had a really cool little horror career this early in her career, doing Ready or Not, obviously, doing Lisa Frankenstein, Abigail, Freaky,
Oh my
and she
god.
was also in Paranormal Activity 4. So she's had a really cool little interesting horror career to kind of kickstart her, you know, her acting career. And then of course Samara Weaving, like you said, being in Ready or Not, The Babysitter, Guns of Chemo, Scream 6. I mean, she's been in a ton of different horror films. And this is really cool because I think Samara Weaving and Catherine Newton have really good chemistry together as sisters. And it's interesting that their names are Grace and Faith because if you watch the first film, you'll know there is some kind of like underlying
Religious.
religious satanic type thing going on. Like the way I would describe it is a cabal. So there's some kind of a cabal going on where there's these rich people that kind of rule everything, and we kind of continue that trend with this film. What you get a lot with this film is what I call the uh, pulp horror. That's kind of what I like to call these types of movies, pulp horror, which is there's a lot of blood and guts, but it's fun, and it's all done with a kind of tongue in cheek type of uh, vibe. It's not meant to be taken too seriously, but yeah, it's kind of fun. There's another movie coming out here pretty soon that kind of gives me the same vibe of like the pulp horror called They Will Kill
The
You.
chick plays as Domino from Deadpool, and
Yeah.
it will give you a Kill Bill vibe, but mixed with this movie. Actually, it's a lot like this movie, but in a hotel cult, religious cult. Um,
And when the first Ready or Not came out, around that time you also had not Ready or Not, but You're Next, which is a little bit more serious kind of version of what this is, but still kind of tongue in cheek, still pulpy, still fun, still done in a semi lighthearted fashion. I really thought Sarah Michelle Gellar did fantastic in this movie.
she basically proved that she's ready to get back out there, which is again a shame for the Buffy thing. And I did put a little joke in our little photo where there's a thought bubble over Jessica Jones' head. Thank God I didn't get canceled like Buffy. But I mean, we gotta make light of a lame situation. But we got this, and I think it was great. Um, because I've not really seen her in a lot of horror movies or movies in general since the 2000s.
She did that little cameo in the I Know What You Did Last Summer film that came out last year.
Yeah, I don't really bring that up because first off, that's kind of a spoiler, so I always try to forget that. That's kind of like a spoiler that again we're gonna spoil probably movies by accident. But yeah, I mean it's kind of funny because there's several character casts in this movie that have also been in Scream. I mean, so it's like the movie is also kind of meta.
Yeah, Sean Hannity did a really good job as the main villain in this movie, and we had watched him recently in another
Alpha
movie,
Dogs.
Alpha Dog.
He's a killer.
Yeah, and he kind of plays a henchman to the main villain of the movie, and but he was so young in that movie to see him in this and see him kind of like with that salt and pepper hair. It kind of made me feel old. Like it made me feel really old because he was so young in Alpha Dogs, but that's early 2000s, you know.
Him and Sarah Michelle Gellar would have been about the same age too, so I thought that was a good pair for
They were
them.
really good too in this
Yeah,
movie. I thought Elijah Wood was fantastic. I won't go too in depth on his character. Just know that if you look it up on
he was
Wikipedia,
like Alfred.
well, yeah, he has no name, and that's because in the movie he's just referred to as the lawyer.
Yeah, he's like the mediator. He isn't a protagonist or antagonist, which I kind of like those characters because you never know what direction they'll go. Which he does great in Yellow Jackets.
Mhm.
You think he's gonna be a protagonist, then all of a sudden he's antagonist. And Maniac, same way. I mean, when
Oh my
you
God, he was so good in the remake of Maniac.
when you look at the dude, you think of a little boy, an innocent little
He
man.
has that Daniel Radcliffe
Yes.
thing going on where no matter how old he gets, he still looks like a kid.
Well, I think a lot of it too, Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter were big at the same
Yeah, at the
time.
same time, yeah, and he talks about it. He's like, people get us mixed up with each other, and I think it's because of that. So, but yeah, this movie was a lot of fun, a lot of fun gore. Um, they just essentially did exactly what you're supposed to do with a sequel, which is they took the original concept and they built upon it and expanded upon it. They don't really give us a whole lot of time. They don't really give Samara Weaving's character of Grace a whole lot of time to process what happened in the first movie before she is very quickly thrusted into the second film. And her character dealing with everything with her fiance and all that. So you don't really get a whole lot of like character beats in it of
Well,
like her dealing with the emotional aspect of what happened in the first movie.
and as I'm
That's not
watching,
really what this is meant for.
and as I'm watching it behind you, um, there's actually a lot of familiar big faces in the first movie I forgot about. Like the groom, I can't remember his name, but he plays kind of like a dorky character and other stuff. If you guys look him up, Ready or Not, the first movie, the guy who plays the groom. If you guys want to message, comment, whatever, um, Matt will tell me who the name is. But if someone could please go on Google, because he's known for a lot of stuff. I've always liked him. And I think the mom, the woman who plays the mom, she kind of reminds me of Elaine from Seinfeld. I forgot that actress's name. But I'm watching it behind him, and also the character of Samara Weaving Grace gives
You're
off.
talking about Adam Brody.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
Adam
love him.
Brody. Yeah, so he was in the OC
Yes,
and he was
OC.
also in Jennifer's Body.
Yes,
Yeah. And then the mom is let's see. The mom is Addie McDowell. Oh yeah, Addie McDowell.
huge.
Yeah, she was in the Groundhog Day, Four Weddings and a Funeral. A ton of like lighthearted stuff.
She's
You
huge.
know.
But like I'm noticing Grace in this movie, the first one, is giving off, even though I can't hear it, um girl next door, virginal, final girl vibes. Like she's not been screwed up in the head yet. So, of course, she's giving off very, I love everybody here. I want to be part of the family. And then, beginning of the second one, she's very, I want a cigarette. Go screw yourself. I
Yeah,
don't give a shit. Leave my life.
this poor girl cannot for the life of her get to smoke a cigarette. She's trying, but she can just never get to smoke a cigarette.
I
So
kept wondering what was up with that. Was that supposed to be some parallel message? Because she does
when you're
smoke.
stressed out, you smoke. That's in her
I think
life.
it's also trying to show you this is not the same character from the beginning of the first one as the beginning of the second one.
Mhm. So yeah, go. I definitely say support cinema. Go out and see Ready or Not 2. We don't really want to get into spoilers. Now, the next movie we are going to get into spoilers with, and that's Mikey. But again, go check out Ready or Not 2. It's a ton of fun. This is what I would call a popcorn horror flick.
Check out the first one too, but both.
Yeah. So we're going to be right back. We're going to talk about the film Mikey because this is a trip, guys. This is a trip. This movie is low key super disturbing.
You're going to have to be very patient with him in the beginning.
Get him placed with adoptive parents as quickly as you can.
They took him away from his real parents. He was abused or something. I don't know.
Who are you?
I'm Mikey Trenton.
Trentons don't have a kid.
Now they do. You don't love me anymore.
That's not a toy.
I know that.
Mikey, no!
I'm calling to inquire about a former student of yours. His name is Mikey Trenton, and he's in the 4th grade.
Pilgrim's bad, so the turkey's fixing him.
Officially, this case is closed.
Mikey, put that down. It's not a toy.
That's what you say.
Hasn't he ever been checked out? Psychologically?
Life is full of accidents.
What are you talking about?
The radio. It's not safe.
Why not?
Don't you know anything about his history?
He's a wonderful kid. He's perfect.
Yeah, he's too perfect.
Stop it!
I've been doing some research into Mikey Trenton's background.
If I had a girlfriend, I'd do anything for her.
I think that there's something very wrong with Mikey. There's something very strange about him. I think that Mikey's in love with me.
He's only 9 years old.
Why don't you like me anymore?
No. Mikey, no!
Dead people aren't the ones to be scared of. Living people are.
I need all the information you can give me on Mikey Trenton. What do you want, Mikey? It's psychotic behavior.
Mikey just needs a good, stable home.
Remember, Jason and Freddy were kids once, too. Mikey.
Killer kid flicks were all the rage in the 90s. You had The Good Son, and this one kind of flew under the radar. It's Mikey. Mikey is an interesting flick. The director of the film had never done this is the only film he ever did, but he works on television, CSI, Freddy's Nightmares, all the way down into current uh, television. But this is a really strong cast for this what looks to be like a made for TV flick, right? I mean, it kind of looks like it's made for television. So you got Brian Bonsali, who plays Mikey, better known for his role in the film Blank Check and the television show Family Ties. You got Whit Hartford, who plays his friend Ben, the next door neighbor, who we know better as Freddy's child in The Nightmare on Elm Street Part 5. You have Ashley Lawrence from the Hellraiser films.
Yeah, he plays Jacob.
Yeah, he plays Jacob. Ashley Lawrence from the Hellraiser films playing Sean, the school teacher. You had David Roach playing David. Mimi Craven, Wes Craven's ex-wife, playing the mother, Rachel. You have Josie playing Jesse, and you have John Dolly playing Neil, and you have Lehman Ward playing Mr. Jenkins. And a lot of these characters are were either in horror films, obviously Ashley Lawrence, but John was also played Grady's dad in A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2. And I think he was in like A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4. And
Yeah.
obviously Wit was in A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 5. So a lot of horror heavy hitters. And the one thing I'll say about Brian, him playing the role of Mikey, is that uh, towards the end of the movie, he tries to get a little tongue in cheek, but for the most part, he plays this character straight.
Well, I want to show them. So if you go to Grindhouse Video, this special edition that we showed you guys probably like 5,000 times, and not just in this episode. The reason why I'm wanting to show you guys is because I have post-its to show some of the cast members. So, like, if you ever go to a con and you see them, that's what I like about special editions like this. Like, look at this. Family photo. They went full out and even took a family photo for this movie.
I have a weird question about that scene, but we'll get into it later.
And then here's Ashley Lawrence, so you guys know, in Hellraiser 1 and 2, she had like curly hair. There's the iconic Mikey picture. I won't, yeah, well, I'll show this. Kind of reminds me of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre dinner scene.
Oh, we're going to show a clip of that here in a little bit.
But yeah, another thing is that I didn't know until today because I was looking into the movie. The deputy in this movie is from Friday the 13th Part 5, who hacks up the heavyset guy eating the chocolate bar. And like you said, Grady's dad. So I feel like Paramount had a lot of Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, Hellraiser cast members. They all got together. Hey, let's make like a meta psycho child movie and not take it seriously at all and have like 3 or 4 leads.
But that's where they mess up, because the movie does kind of take itself seriously, because we meet this child at the beginning of the film, and he essentially murders his young sister in a pool, which we see it in full view of this. We see this little girl drown, electrifies his mother in the bathtub, and then ends up going on to be with this next family, blaming these murders on some guy in like a dark vehicle. But later on, whenever he's doing the psychology, like the psychologist is talking to him, we get these hints that something happened in his childhood with his regular family, and even his you I feel like they were really trying to set it for a sequel because we do meet his sister briefly. The social worker is trying to
It's not
say
his sister, it's his adopted mother's sister.
yes, or something. But anyways, and she mentions that he had been abused with his original mother and father. So there's these moments where they try and be like tongue in cheek and slashery with him, but then there's these moments where they try and actually like get into the psychology of what could happen to a child who loves horror movies and had an abusive childhood and has psychotic deranged separation syndrome or whatever they call it because he does say his favorite movie is a Nightmare on Elm Street.
Nightmare on Elm Street, yes, and see, actually on the front of the movie cover, they are actually telling you this is a movie where what if an abused child watched a bunch of our movies with Paramount? This is who he would be.
Yeah.
Because it says, remember, Jason and Freddy were kids once too. And the child tells the coach who was in Nightmare on Elm Street, but he was, don't get him confused, he wasn't the coach in Nightmare on Elm Street, he was Grady's dad.
In part two.
Yes, and tells him Nightmare on Elm Street's his favorite, which is funny. The kid's best friend is also from Nightmare on Elm Street. So I feel like they're going very meta, which is kind of ironic because Scream didn't come out yet. I don't even think New Nightmare did yet.
He was the coach. Was he also the principal? They really didn't explain his character very well.
They didn't explain any of their dynamics.
He seems like a principal, doesn't he? He kind of.
Well, yeah, because why would a gym coach be hanging around Ashley Lawrence, who's a teacher all the time, and he's always in the office? They talk to each other. I felt like also Ashley Lawrence and his character had a little bit of something more than work relationship going on.
Possibly, but I like their pairing together because usually in movies like this, you'll have a character that starts putting all the dots together, and then everyone around her or him is going, "No, you're just overreacting or you're crazy." Halfway through the movie, he's right there with her. He's like, "Yeah, something's not right."
Yeah, I mean, I really did like these characters. To be honest, I don't really know about Matt, but I grew up like with our show. We kind of Matt's the movie expert, and I'm like the novels and books expert. Like I grew up reading a lot of YA horror novels, R.L. Stine, Christopher Pike, Fear Street, and stuff. And this movie kind of watched like one of those to me. The characters were actually better. I mean, each character, the coach, Ashley Lawrence, the adopted mom, the dad, the next door neighbors. It was like YA 90s, 80s horror. I mean, we've seen a lot of breast and stuff, but we never seen really any sexuality either. The story focused more on developing the characters instead of being a cliche slasher, which I liked. But like I said, we have the girl next door. Then which she doesn't come until halfway. Ashley Lawrence as the teacher and the adopted mom. I kept trying to figure out who is like the
main
Laurie
character.
Strode.
Yeah, there wasn't
Mikey.
really. Mikey is kind of the main character. But one of the things I love about this is whenever the film does get kind of tongue in cheek, like there's a scene where Mikey and his friend decide that they're going to take a shortcut through a graveyard, and there's a conversation. Oh, I feel like Mikey was trying to piss him off. Bless me. I feel like Mikey was trying to piss him off because Mikey is like, the kid says like, what's it like being adopted? And then Mikey's like, I feel bad for you because you only have the love of one parent and I have two parents that love me, and then Mikey gets pissed off, goes and lays down on a grave and then scares the kid and he's like, It's not dead people you need to be afraid of. It's the living. So it's these kind of tongue in cheek moments, and to give you guys an idea of how Mikey sells some of this, I want to show this scene here because this is pretty funny. Check this out.
Okay.
Life is full of accidents.
What are you talking about?
The radio. It's not safe.
Why not?
Because you could die.
Because you could die. And he says this line quite a few times.
Yeah, with Ashley Lawrence, like almost the best
I got that
deaths.
one too. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, well then I won't say it and I'll let you show it later.
Because his follow up to that is actually a lot more creative. Like, and so they give him some good lines, but the issue with the kid isn't so much that he does a bad job, it's that you could tell that he didn't have necessarily the range to pull off an extremely menacing character, where someone like Macaulay Culkin in The Good Son, it's not what he says, it's just his overall demeanor, how he looks, how he acts. He pulls off the evil kid better, where this is more kind of tongue in cheek.
Well, didn't this come before Home Alone also? I mean, because this is
No,
the
this wasn't
80s.
before Home Alone. No, this is 90s.
This is our, okay, because like he is pulling off some,
This is 1992.
he's pulling off some Macaulay Culkin vibes in his delivery, and the kid's not a bad actor. Like, I don't get, when you watch something kind of like, I don't know, some of you guys like these really bad 80s, some of them are indie slashers, like sorority girl type things. And I get this chill in my back. It's like an annoying chill, and some of them just, I mean,
Cringy.
we're not perfect actors and everything, but I mean, it's like, rehearse at least.
Well,
And he's not like that. Like, it's,
no. There's also his character also does the kind of stereotypical psychotic teenager or kid trope where he attaches himself to a girl who's
what's her name
way
again?
older.
She's the blonde.
Jesse.
Yes.
Jesse, who
Jesse's girl. Or no, no.
yeah.
That's
He
not
he attaches himself to a girl who's a lot older than him, and he falls in love with her, which is something that they do with these killer kid tropes. Really, what that does is you're attaching an emotion to a child that should be attached to an adult. So it singles him out as being psychotic because it's like this kid should not be having these feelings.
Yeah, because that's the thing. That's what I liked about this. His character is unique because in The Orphan, first off, not a child, apparently. There's a twist to that character. But she always seems to get obsessed with the males of the household, which are the dads. Well, also with movies like this, like Children of the Corn and stuff, these kids' mental diagnosis are that they don't have empathy. Mikey has empathy.
Yes.
That's what's so weird. And so Ashley Lawrence tells other characters he has, now listen to this, unattachment syndrome, which I understood exactly what that was. I'm kind of in the industry right now dealing with behavior health, and an attachment syndrome is where like someone has a problem with being unattached. She's meaning, so if y'all watch this, she's meaning to family. Like when every time he gets adopted or friends or something, he finds reasons, which it's kind of like our dating world, find a reason to maybe set the relationship up to fail. So
sabotage it.
yeah, and that's why he kills, is because something he doesn't like happens, whether it's discipline or what. But we see he's not void of feelings because he really likes this girl to a point to where he's doing some pretty messed up things to protect her.
Dude, the scene, you turn your head for 2 seconds. And whenever Mikey is sitting in the bushes and he's watching Jesse and she meets her boy, he sees her in the window and then her boyfriend pops up and they start making out. He grabs a hold of that cat and breaks its neck.
And I knew exactly what he was gonna do when the boyfriend got in his car, his truck. He was gonna make it look like the boyfriend ran him over because the boyfriend already showed he had anger issues, so he just had to top it off with because he knew what could possibly end this relationship because he likes Jesse, of course. So, and I felt like even when things got to a point to where the cat was out of the bag, no pun intended.
Yeah.
Um, he still didn't want to harm her. He did not want to harm her almost the whole movie, even when she knew about him.
Yeah, she doesn't die. I mean, he went to shoot a bow and arrow at her, but I don't know if he purposely missed or what. But yeah, so Ashley Lawrence's character has a pretty good death, and I think it's the
Probably the
best.
best.
Yeah, it's the best line delivery by Brian. And we're gonna check this out because I love this. This is great.
Miss Gilder, I think your marble game was like the best. You know what? This is my lucky marble.
What do you want, Mikey?
I want to thank you, Miss Gilder. You were the best teacher I ever had. But would you teach me one more thing?
What?
How to die.
How to die.
Die.
We need a T-shirt that just says, the Mikey movie, to die.
Yeah, I mean, it's his one line in the movie that he says over and over again. I feel like they wanted to be his tagline of some kind. And it's because I feel like they didn't want his character to get too dirty with it, like not like Freddy, where you'd be saying his
Calling
name
everyone
is,
a bitch.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly,
bitch. Bitch, bitch,
exactly,
bitch,
yeah,
bitch.
yeah. We'll see, bitch. We'll see. I don't think they wanted him to get too like dirty with it. They wanted to keep his character a little bit more simple. And then we get this like setup at the end where he like kind of decorates the house for his dad and he sets up all the bodies at like a dinner table.
Oh, he wasn't decorating. He knew exactly what he was doing. He was setting just like the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
Dad's coming home. When all else fails, wipe him. Whatever. When in doubt, wipe him out. That's what his method is. He has a routine. You'll notice that it's even from beginning to end. He has a routine. Says the same thing, does the same thing, no matter who he's with, and it is kind of like a psychological horror in a way. I mean, he does. He sets up the bodies, the body of the mom, which that was a good death scene. I really thought the mom was gonna live. He causes her to fall through the the loft area of the house and falls down the stairs. He lodges the glass in her throat. He has this trick where he has a ball, he puts it under his arm to cut his circulation off.
Make people think he's dead.
Yes, because everything in this movie is a lot of it's a callback. Because early in the movie he did this to trick the
Trick
sister.
Jesse into making out with him.
Yeah, and what I don't like, there's two things I don't like in this movie. Okay, the adults in this movie. Jesse one says, "You're a good cancer." First off, I know the bitch is joking because I mean it's CPR. It's not.
Yeah. Well, she has
But she
another
kept saying
I know.
it.
She has another conversation with him later on where she catches Mikey staring at her.
It's
And then
okay
she's
to
like,
look
"Why
at
are you
me.
staring at me?" And he's like, "No, I'm not." And she's like, "It's okay to stare. Just make sure that when a girl your age stares back, that you treat her real good." And I'm like,
No,
"You are like
not like
18 years old. Why are you having a conversation like this at all
No, she
with
said
an 8 year
it's
old?
okay to look, but it's not okay to stare.
Stare.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, that doesn't make sense. It's the same thing, bitch. And like,
Either way,
bitch, please.
it is just it's a racing conversation to be having with a 10-year
Well,
old.
then when her boyfriend's dead, I really the whole rose thing kind of confused me because I don't remember seeing him grab the rose from the death scene. But
He did, yeah.
anyways, that's what tells her he killed her boyfriend, and she warns the mom. But he tries to hug her and stuff, and he says, "Now you can love only me now," and stuff like that. Yeah, that is a little creepy, but you gotta remember, you've been telling this kid he's a good kisser for like the past few weeks. Like
You've
she
been
did it
leading
off
this
and
10-year
on.
old on.
Yes, like I mean, and when you're
Poor
having sex with
Mikey.
your boyfriend, guys, those of you that are watching, if you have a kid neighbor or something, and have sex with your blinds closed.
Yes, because this kid isn't just looking, he's filming it. He's filming all of his murders. And not only that, he's rewatching them like their home videos. And he's sneaking into her room while she sleeps and staring at her. So, I mean, they really pushed really hard. So, this film was banned in the UK. And it was banned in the UK because there is a true crime case that I'm very aware of. If anybody's into true crime, you know about the case of the two 10-year olds that abducted the 2-year old, and the 2-year old ended up dead on the railroad tracks. And I felt like the UK was just like this a little too close to home.
I mean, I don't blame them.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
it kind of reminded me of the Slender Man case with the little girls.
yeah, the true story of that is super disturbing because you never want to think about a kid or kids being able to do things like this. But there have been cases, and there's always been a lot of, um, how would I put it? A lot of like mystery surrounding why kids do stuff like this sometimes. And obviously, it could be a combination of nature versus nurture, you know. But I mean, easily one of the most prolific serial killers of all time is Mary Bell. And she started killing people whenever she was 7 or 8, you know? So this does happen. And, it does happen rarely. And this one, there's moments where this movie is tongue in cheek, but there's also a few moments in this movie where it hits a little too close to home because we don't know. There's a lot of insinuation on what Mikey was going through in his previous life. There's a lot of inappropriate behavior. There is, I mean, there's this scene where they're all playing football and the coach is like
That's what I was
doing
gonna
shirts
say.
and skins.
So here's the thing. This kind of showed my generation versus Matt's. So when I was in like elementary, I felt like that was elementary school. The coach was telling all the little boys, skin shirts, and Mikey was skin, and Mikey told him, no, I don't want to, and he says, the coach argues with him, and I'm like, oh my god,
But
first
then
off,
eventually he
that
caves.
young,
He caves. But
but
then it's the follow-up conversation with the school guidance counselor or whatever, where he's asking him, and then there's insinuation that it has something to do with his
like
past.
actually there's insinuation because like that's where the Freddy Krueger Nightmare on Elm Street thing comes up, is because there's insinuation he has
SA
scars.
or something. Yeah, scars or something. So it's just there with all the tongue in cheek that's in this movie, there's just a handful of moments that are a little icky. And I could see why this film had a tough time getting off the ground. Whereas The Good Son, the difference between The Good Son is what makes The Good Son palatable is that Macaulay Culkin's family is good to him. There is no hints of abuse. He is just an evil kid from birth.
Yes, that's what I did like, but it sounds like we're kind of shitting on the movie. But we're not, because I do like Mikey. He's a unique antagonist. It's not some The Omen, Children of the Corn ripoff. he's not completely an antagonist. We're kind of sympathizing with him a little bit because some of these people around him, they're not bad people, but they're triggering. Yes, that's the word. He's triggered a little bit by some of these people. But what I like about it, it's kind of like how Halloween's mystery is why Michael is killing, or Psycho. Mikey's thing is what happened in his past. It never shows you, and it never really tells you, and that's what I like about it. And we don't completely hate the kid. We don't completely want a character to like kick him in the face and kill him, because there's something wrong there. So I like movies like this. It makes you feel conflicted.
Definitely. So go check out Mikey. There is a Region B special edition that was released, which for a lot of you people is not going to really matter for you because Region B is not going to be something you guys can access. But if you go either, I don't think Grindhouse has it, but if you go online to Orbit DVD, you can actually get yourself a region-free Blu-ray 4K player, and you can watch some of these special editions that come from Europe, and that's what this is. This is a region-free that we got at Grindhouse in Knoxville. But we are going to watch the breakdown real quick for who's coming to WrestleScream, and then whenever we get back, we'll talk a little bit about that, and then we're going to talk about the KFW event coming up on April 10th.
WrestleScream is invading Knoxville on October 9th and 10th with your favorite horror movie stars and pro wrestlers from WWE, WCW, NWA, and AAA, with reunions from Return of the Living Dead, A Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, Halloween, and Sleepaway Camp, along with stars from Marvel, Nickelodeon, and all your favorite 90s pop culture icons. Then, as night falls, NWA Crossfire Wrestling brings you the biggest wrestling event in East Tennessee on each night with its yearly spectacle, Black Harvest. Vendor spots are selling fast, and tickets are on sale now starting at $20 on WrestleScream.com. Taking place at the Hilton Knoxville Airport in Alcoa, Tennessee. WrestleScream, the convention to die for.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We got a full cast reunion of Sleepaway Camp as well. We're going to watch a little video on that here in just a moment. But on top of all of that, we have Friday the 13th reunions. We have Ari Lehman is going to be in the house. We have Jensen Daggett is going to be in the house. A ton of other superstars, as well as a Nightmare on Elm Street reunions. And then on the wrestling side of things, we have on the wrestling side of things, we have the Sandman is going to be in the house. We have Shane Douglas is going to be in the house. Vampiro, Francine, D'Lo Brown, Jerry Lynn, Carlito. I mean, the list goes on and on. You can get your tickets at WrestleScream.com. This is going to be a full-fledged 2-day convention at the Hilton Knoxville Airport on Friday and Saturday, October 9th and 10th. Like I said, get your tickets online at WrestleScream.com. Some VIP, some super VIP and regular VIP are still available, so you can grab those online now. We just sold some today. And we also had another announcement for a superstar we're bringing in, but this is going to be a full-fledged 2-day convention. And on each evening, NWA Crossfire is going to bring its annual massive wrestling event. Black Harvest is going to be taking place on each evening. And we also announced the one and only, the very beautiful That's right. Jenna Jameson is going to be in the house, known as the Michael Jordan of the adult film industry. That's literally one of her monikers. Coming to you from Zombie Strippers. And guess who else was in Zombie Strippers, Jake? Look at this. Clayton Landy, who is from A Nightmare on Elm Street 3, was also in Zombie Strippers, The Blob, and Sully is also going to be in the house. So, um, a really huge lineup, more stars to be announced, plus all your favorite NWA stars. But we got a show coming up on April 10th.
Yes, and one thing I would like to say, speaking of like TV streaming and stuff, I can't say it enough. We actually just recently got all of our past episodes because we realized that only I think like one was on our website, so I apologize for that. If you go on YouTube and you type in Zap and Slash, Zap, ZEAP, or ZAPN slash, YouTube channel has every single past episode. So I'll share it and stuff. But YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and I think I've even got a TikTok going. But yeah, we do have some April 10th. I want to discuss a little bit of a schedule change too, because Thursday nights are going to be a little difficult here going out. So Friday nights we're going to start going live, 7 or 8 p.m. And if they do fall on the shows,
we will have something recorded ready for you guys.
Yeah, we'll record, but you guys are more than welcome to come to the shows.
Come to the shows. Yeah, most definitely. Come to the shows, meet us, check out all the action. Also, if you go onto YouTube and you want to see some of what we do in action at NWA Crossfire, Kylie says NWA Crossfire, follow NWA Crossfire on YouTube or else.
Yes.
So,
so two channels.
Coming up, we have Never Back Down. That's Friday, April 10th. You can get your tickets at KFW Wrestling Events on Facebook. That's Friday, April 10th at the Sevierville Civic Center, 200 Gary Way Boulevard, Sevierville, Tennessee. Doors open at 7 p.m. Bell time 8 p.m. Tickets on sale now. The VIP front row are selling fast. Let's talk about a few of these matches because I am worried for Will West and Tyler Ivans. The Sports Animal guys from 99.1 The Sports Animal are going to be in action against Chase Stevens and Shane Williams. That's Team Nashville on the heels of a comeback attacking me and trying everything they can do to get those KFW tag team titles. Shane Williams had some choice words for these guys. Let's listen to what he has to say.
Hey, Tommy Henry. Hey. Just wanted to shoot you a little message and tell you that Team Nashville, we haven't forgotten about you. No matter of fact, we've been thinking about you. Because, I don't know if you know this or not, but you have 2 radio DJs right now as your KFW Tag Team Champions. And then the more we think about it, the natural Chase Stevens and I, we feel like we should solve that problem for you, Tommy. I feel like we should take those KFW tag team titles. I feel like we should take KFW from you and your entire family. Just like you forgot about us and everything that we did for KFW. I can't wait to take everything away from you and see what it feels like when everybody forgets about you.
Shane Williams not mincing any words as it pertains to literally kind of calling me, Tommy, and the whole KFW family out. Basically saying, do you realize that your tag team champions are 2 radio DJs? Well, here's the thing. Will West and Tyler Ivans, whether they want to realize it or not, they have just quietly stumbled into having the KFW foundation on their shoulders with this match because having Shane Williams and Chase Stevens or Team Nashville winning those titles would be horrendously terrifying for NWA Crossfire. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm worried about those guys. They haven't been doing this for 20 years. That they've just dipped their feet into the water, and I love those guys. They've quietly became part of the KFW family, but to say I'm worried is an understatement. This is one, I don't want anybody getting hurt, and 2, I don't want to see those titles on Shane Williams and Chase Stevens. So I really think everyone is going to have their back. I don't want to cheat to help them, but I just want to make sure that they know that we're rooting for them. You know, along with that, you also have the return of Sean Christopher taking on Kinsey for that NWA Crossfire title. Sean Christopher has not been a part of NWA Crossfire in almost a decade, and he's returning to take on Kinsey for that NWA Crossfire title. Sean Christopher has some choice words for Kinsey as well. Let's listen to him.
April 10th, I make my return to Sevierville, Tennessee, my return to KFW. But what lies ahead is the tallest task among tall tasks. Because I'm not just wrestling anyone. I'm wrestling Kinsey Page. And not just Kinsey Page, I'm wrestling entering the prime of her life, KFW champion Kinsey Page. Kinsey, I know you. I know you in the ring better than most. If you remember back the first time you ever traveled over state lines, it was me that you met. So if you don't think that I don't remember those weaknesses that you had, and I know you're a perfectionist, and I know you lie awake at night, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come to your hometown, and I'm gonna exploit all of those weaknesses, Kinsey. And it never backed down. And that's what an appropriate name for my return to KFW, because I've never backed down from a member of the Henry family, and I never will. So I want you to bring every one of them, Kinsey. You bring Isaac, Kylie, Amy, Skylar, Tommy, because I want them to look me in my eyes when I snap the neck of their golden goose.
First of all, he's looking to snap the neck of the golden goose. I think Kinsey needs a shirt now that says Kinsey Page, the golden goose, first and foremost. But Kinsey has a lot on her shoulders as well. Being a NWA superstar, this is only the second time that she's ever put that NWA Crossfire title on the line. So there's a lot riding on that as well. And not only that, but me and Kylie, along with you, are going to be teaming up to take on Paradox and Veil for one final time. This is the final fight tag team tables match. And on the video, you know, the commentary team, Carmen, was mentioning how I was using you as a weapon. Listen, Jake, I might need your help on this one. Okay? It's a tables match. And if I have to use you as a weapon again, I'm sorry.
Listen, guys, I have a confession. I appreciate it. I appreciate everyone referring to me and then Hendrix
as a human weapon.
We are two separate entities. I've not announced this yet, but I am not Hendrix. Hendrix is his own person. He's his own crazy personality.
I'm a different person when I'm out there too.
But I'm not Hendrix. I don't even remember being in that ring. I know that's kind of narcissistic or whatever, but I'm not Hendrix. I'm Jake. He runs the show. But I'll be glad to watch the video.
Let's just hope you don't have the same bruises.
Yeah, I wake up with the bruises, and Hendrix gets to have fun.
Yeah. So the other thing, this is something that I mentioned to Tommy, and it's something that I mentioned to Kylie, and it's something that I'm declaring now, is that if Kylie and I can get through this and we can defeat them in this table match, I'm going to go ahead and declare we're going after those KFW tag team titles. That's what I want. That's what I think we deserve. But it's just getting past this. One last time, this fight is now a tables match. And also on the line is the NWA heavyweight champion, Silas Mason, is going to be going up against Jamison Shook. It's an honor for NWA Crossfire to have the NWA champion wearing the 10 pounds gold, putting that title on the line at NWA Crossfire, as well as right here. Here we go. We got the 6-man scramble featuring Axon, JJ, Franks, Toby Farley. Uh, I mean, just a multitude of talent in that ring in this 6-man scramble match. Whoever comes out of that, you never know. KFW is going to be looking at whoever wins that match, whoever comes out of that match is easily going to have eyes on them for some kind of a future shot. And then we have a KFW throwback match. KFW throwback match. That's right. Trooper T returning. It's 2007 all over again. Trooper T returning after 15 years away from the business to take on Overkill in this KFW throwback match. And we saw today that it was in the local paper. Local wrestling favor returns to the ring. Ayers aims to prove he may be getting older, but can he still compete? And Overkill had some choice words for Trooper T. Let's listen into that.
Trooper. Trooper. What is going on with all of this nonsense? Ever since I've come back to the United States, I've had ghosts from Christmas past who all of a sudden want to get back in the ring with me. That's right. I heard that Trooper T requested this match with the one true champion, the KFW original, Overkill, accompanied by the lovely Valet Vixen. So here we are again. We're going to have to do this all over again. I'm going to have to get back in the ring with somebody who I should have said goodbye to a very long time ago. As a matter of fact, Trooper, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you this, man. You want this match? That's perfectly fine. April the 10th in the Civic Center in Sevierville? That's fine. We can do this. But this isn't going to be a wrestling match. This is going to be your eulogy. You shouldn't be getting back in the ring. I'm still in my prime. You've passed that time, buddy. This isn't really a grudge match. The only other time I've been in the ring with you, I was taking a belt from you at another company. So, April 10th, Sevierville Civic Center. It will be Trooper T versus KFW Original Overkill. And I can't promise that I'm not going to hurt you. I can't promise that I'm not going to break you. And I can't promise that I'm going to send you packing where you should have stayed. I'll see you there, bud.
Overkill having some choice words there for Trooper T. And Trooper T is aiming to make some kind of a comeback for one last fight. So we're going to see if he's got it in him. I have all the faith in Trooper T. So, guys, we are going to be signing off here. A lot going on. Go to WrestleScream. Oh, before we go, I do want to show this because a lot of people have mentioned how this is a big deal. So I want to make sure to showcase this and make sure that everyone knows this has to do with WrestleScream. So check this out.
A full reunion of Sleepaway Camp is taking place at WrestleScream on October 9th and 10th. One of the most memorable and controversial slasher films of the 1980s is coming to Knoxville, Tennessee, at the Hilton Knoxville Airport on 2001 Alcoa Highway. Meet Angela, Judy, Paul, Meg, and Mike in person and relive the terror of Sleepaway Camp at WrestleScream. Tickets on sale now at WrestleScream.com.
That's right, guys. We got a lot going on. You can get your tickets for WrestleScream at WrestleScream.com. You can get your tickets for April 10th's NWA Crossfire Wrestling event at KFW Wrestling Events on Facebook. Any of the links, every single one of them are going to have that info in them. So you can get your tickets there. And we will see you guys next week. It'll be the week before the wrestling event. We're very excited. We're building things up. I don't know what we're going to be talking about, but I'm sure it's going to be good because we got a lot of stuff coming up the pipeline. This is a big year for film, and we're obviously going to be talking more about WrestleScream. So thank you guys so much, and we will see you next week.